Hey there, thanks for tuning in. May I take a very brief moment to ask, would you hit that like and subscribe button, even the bell if you feel like it? And thank you for watching. Why don't you describe Wayward Sun? Because Wayward Sun is an amazing vessel, you guys.
Wayward Sun is very cool. Wayward Sun is a 27-foot boat that is all solar electric boat, which means it's got solar panels and batteries and a motor and a super efficient hull. And we went 1,400 miles all the way from Bellingham, Washington to Glacier Bay, Alaska, and we didn't have to plug into shore power at all.
Did you hear that? 1,400 miles in an electric boat, solar electric, didn't plug into shore power once.
From the Port Townsend Wooden Boat Festival and recorded in the Fisheries Supply, live from the Wooden Boat Festival stage, it's the Boat Geeks with Darren O'Brien.
We're the Boat Geeks, whatever floats your boat. We're the Boat Geeks.
Hey there, welcome to another episode of the Boat Geeks. I am your other host, Darren, and we're at the Fisheries Supply, live from the Wooden Boat Festival stage. It is the Port Townsend Wooden Boat Festival 2025. And on the guest dock right now, we have Alex Borton of Solar Sal Boats. Alex, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's great to be here, Darren.
It's good to have you. We met a few months ago at the Pacific Coast Conference of Harbor Masters, and Alex brought one of his boats. It was Wayward Sun.
Wayward Sun.
And Wayward Sun. Why don't you describe Wayward Sun? Because Wayward Sun is an amazing vessel, you guys.
Wayward Sun is very cool. Wayward Sun is a 27-foot boat that is all solar electric boat, which means it's got solar panels and batteries and a motor and a super efficient hull. And we went 1,400 miles all the way from Bellingham, Washington to Glacier Bay, Alaska, and we didn't have to plug into shore power at all.
Did you hear that? 1,400 miles in an electric boat, solar electric, didn't plug into shore power once. Now, this was in the Pacific Northwest, and I'm sure you had sunny days every single day you were out there. Is that right?
I think in 3 weeks that it took to get us up there, we had a couple sunny days. It was cloudy most of the time.
That totally sounds like a normal trip to Alaska.
Yeah, Southeast Alaska.
And so
absolutely.
I know there are folks out there now, boaters, some of them can have strong opinions about things. Sure. And one of them is, similar to the whole advent of the electric car. People are just hesitant to want to adopt something when they're used to something else. And so electric boats, they've been around for a while, but I don't know. How many of you out there have heard of a solar electric boat that can go from Puget Sound to Alaska and never even have to plug in to shore power? I mean, if there is an example of the proof in the pudding that solar and electric boats can work, I think that's it. What year did you were with your dad on this trip, right?
Yes. Yeah, that was in 2021, so middle of the pandemic.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Which turns out to be a fantastic time for us to go. And it was a really cool time to be in Alaska because there were no cruise ships.
Oh, neat. Yeah.
So we had to catch a can all to ourselves and Juneau all to ourselves, and there weren't thousands of people going around. And all of the anchorages, maybe we saw a couple other boats.
Oh, wow.
So it was a pretty magical time.
Yeah. Now, did you set out to accomplish this trip to make a statement, or was it a shakedown? I mean, was it to prove to yourself? Why did you take this cruise on in Wayward Sun?
Basically, I've never cruised to Alaska before this trip, so it was always on my bucket list. And yes, proof of concept.
Yeah.
And it was a good time in my life to have an adventure and a good time for my dad and I to go do it. This particular boat, Wayward Sun, was designed as a lake boat. It was a picnic, cocktails, you and your neighbors out on Lake Washington for an afternoon. That's when we built the boat, that's what we had in mind. We had a little V-berth in there for maybe weekends.
Sure.
This boat was designed and built by Sam Devlin, who does amazing boats.
He sure does. Yeah, we had him on the show. We'll put a link to the Sam Devlin episode. Of course, he's on his way back from the Northwest Passage on Sarah. So
outrageous. That is the coolest thing.
Yeah, great builder. So you had a solid boat.
We had a solid boat. So I think that's the thing is this Sam Devlin's lake boat could totally rock the inside passage.
Yeah, there you go.
When we built the boat, we were like, yeah, wouldn't it be great to have a solar boat that could do the inside passage? And we were like, well, that'll be the next boat. And I'll talk to you about the next boat in a little while, because that's super exciting. But we read somewhere about like, well, cruise the boat you have. And we're like, okay. And I'd cruised this boat, several weeks at a time in Puget Sound. So I knew it could handle a trip like that.
And what year did you launch Wayward Sun?
Wayward Sun was launched in 2019.
29. So this is a couple year and a half after you launched the boat.
Yeah, I had enough time cruising in the San Juans and the Gulf Islands to know the boat and to know what it could do. So I knew it could do the trip.
Yeah.
This episode of The Boat Geeks is sponsored by The Boater's Guide, a free app for Pacific Northwest boaters. The Boater's Guide is adventure and information, right at your fingertips, right when you need it. Find your happy place with The Boater's Guide, a free download on your phone or tablet in the App Store and Google Play.
And your father went with you. Mm-hmm. Is your father a reason why you got into boats? I mean, what got you into boating?
Yeah.
Because you're a boat geek. What made you a boat geek?
Well, we have a family place in the Adirondack Mountains in upstate New York.
Oh, wow.
And I grew up there with canoes, guide boats. We had an old wooden sailfish from the 60s I learned to sail on. Didn't know anything about sailing, what anything was called, but I could go out and sail around the lake, which was great.
Yeah.
So in college, I did the sea semester program on a 130-foot brigantine, which was really cool, and volunteered on the Adventurous and other tall ships. I did a bunch of small engineless cruising, engineless boats.
Yeah.
And I worked for a school teaching sailing in Mexico and Baja California.
Wow.
And up here on the longboats, like the Townsend and the Bear here. And did a really cool trip in Chilean Patagonia.
Oh my gosh.
On a Sea Pearl 21
Oh
with
my
a couple of
gosh.
buddies.
That's a bucket
Which
list
was pretty
item.
amazing.
The coast of Chile. Yeah.
Yeah. We sailed down to a Tidewater Glacier and then did some mountaineering from there.
Of course.
Of course.
What one does when you're boating at the base of the Andes, right?
Right. Of course.
Wow.
So going slow, paying attention to currents is something that I knew about,
Yeah.
so I felt comfortable.
Yeah. You don't need it's the journey. I mean, the destination is nice, but right, that's what we always say. Because my wife and I were sailors, and then we bought a 46-foot trawler to live aboard, and we always told people that we cruise on a sailor's mentality.
Yeah.
So that's the way to cruise, especially far-flung locales. So you've got a great background. You grew up boating on the lake, so you had a passion. And when did you decide I need to start my own company and build boats that are solar electric? What was the impetus to do that?
I can't take credit for that. That was my dad.
Okay.
He's done solar his whole life throughout the 70s. Did solar thermal collectors,
Okay.
big mirrors focusing sunlight on a hot spot to make steam for
Yeah.
electricity.
Wow.
And that was cost effective in the 80s and 90s because the cost of silicon and photovoltaic panels were so high.
Yeah.
So we grew up in a solar house in the 80s in upstate New York.
Cool.
It was below zero outside, which it was much of the winter. If the sun shined, the house would heat up to 80 degrees, just the sunshine. So he's been doing sailing his whole life. He was boating in the Adirondacks his whole life. And in 2005, we had this 20-foot Grumman canoe that I'm sure was 30 years old at the time, just kicking around. Put a couple solar panels on that with a trolling motor. And the thing worked great. And since then, we've done 9 other solar boats of different sizes.
Great.
When I say we, it's mostly him and the company.
No, so is your dad out here in Bellingham also?
He's in upstate New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But you founded your Solar Sal
Yeah. Solar Sal
boat
Boats.
building company in Bellingham,
It's
Washington.
in Bellingham and in upstate New York,
Okay.
in Troy, New York. So we're bi-coastal.
Oh, there you go. Any boats on the East Coast? Solar
Yeah.
Sals?
Yeah. The one boat, the 25-foot launch was built in 2012, is still going strong
Wow.
on the lake in
Okay.
upstate New York. There's a 44-foot solar boat on the Hudson River. It was launched in 2018. That was the first ever all-solar boat that was inspected by the Coast Guard for passengers.
Nice.
And my dad's got all kinds of stories about working with the Coast Guard because they didn't know what a solar
Yeah,
boat was. It was the first one. They'd
Yeah.
never done it before.
Groundbreaking.
It was.
Yeah.
And that boat has been giving lighthouse tours since 2018 every summer, all summer longs, never plugged into shore power.
It's just so cool.
It is cool.
Unplugged. Totally.
Totally unplugged. And both of those boats, almost no maintenance other than cosmetic.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
paint it every couple of years.
Talk a little bit about the construction methods that you like to utilize for your Solar Sal boats.
Yeah. Most of our boats have been one-off. It's more cost-effective to build. If you're building one boat, it's more cost-effective to build it out of wood. So it's been either cold molded or Wayward Sun with stitch and glue that Sam Devlin did. So the 2 boats I just mentioned on the East Coast were cold molded cedar strips. We've also have 24-foot fiberglass boats, which we invested in tooling, and so we're selling those to the general public. We've got one in Bellingham if you want to come up and take a
All
ride.
right. Yeah.
Another solar boat.
Well, I really enjoyed our little tour of Port Townsend Bay on Wayward Sun that you took us out. That was pretty cool. I can tell you that it's really loud inside. Wait, no, I was wrong. It's so quiet. Literally, it's just all you hear is the lapping of water on the hull. It's beautiful. If
Can hear
you
the
like
water.
nature, that's the way to go.
Well, and cruising in Glacier Bay, Alaska, there were humpback whales all over the place. And from miles away, you could hear, oh, wait a minute, what's that? Oh, that's the whale spouting. And you could look around and see the spout.
Yeah,
So,
and I'm sure that they appreciated the. I mean, all they could hear is the prop turning, and
yeah. And dolphins, I'm sure it's not unique, but dolphins cruising along the boat
yeah,
all the time.
Yeah, it must be for the animals. You have to wonder, especially with noise pollution under the surface with our cetaceans that utilize echolocation and so forth, and I think they have to have at least some understanding of what those bipeds are on those things that are on the surface that are really loud. And oh, look, here comes one. I can hardly hear it.
Right.
I like those bipeds.
We'd like to think so.
Yeah.
I think there's research that shows electric boats are more friendly and that
Excellent.
animals like them better.
Excellent.
So,
And electric boats. So, I mean, there's, Duffy's been making electric boats for, it seems like ever. And so, is there on the forefront of what you're doing, and you're able to do long-term cruising, you've proven that, are there any other players out there right now?
that are doing that?
Yeah.
Well, there are other individuals that have done long-term cruising on solar boats. I'm sure you know Ed and Eileen Pauley.
But are they
Electric
building?
Philosophy. No, they built that boat for themselves.
Right.
There are a couple small companies that build small solar boats in the 15 to 30, the more day boats,
Sure.
kind of like our Solar Sal 24. There are some really big cruising catamarans that you've probably seen that are covered with solar panels everywhere.
Built in Europe, I think.
Yes.
Those,
Yes. All European.
They're a
and if
little-
you read the fine print, the solar can move them for a little while at a particular speed. And then they rely on their range extenders, diesel generators.
But they're pushing 35,000 pounds.
Yes. And you just can't get enough solar power on a boat like that to cruise sustainably for any reasonable distance at a reasonable speed on that boat.
Right.
Now, not knocking it, because a diesel-electric hybrid where
Sure.
you have a generator is a very efficient way to burn diesel fuel.
Yeah.
So, that's wonderful.
Our Washington State ferries are
Yes,
examples
exactly.
of that right now. But you also you're currently in the midst of the construction of a Solar Sal cruising boat with amenities that one would find on traditional cruising boats. Can you talk a little bit about this really cool new design that they're building right up here in Port Townsend?
Yeah, right here at Turn Point Design.
Turn Point, yep.
Yeah, it's the Townsend 34 is the model, and it is so cool. And it's cool because it'll have the speed and the range of a comparable trawler.
Wow.
So we'll go 7-8 knots
Yeah.
for as long as people do. And we'll have everything you expect, right? Hot and cold running water, cabin heat, the heat pump with the air conditioning,
Yeah.
and heat, shower, everything you would
A
want.
galley.
Galley, full galley.
We'll show the plans
Yes.
and some pictures of the
Yeah,
boat
we just
during
had some
construction.
renderings done that are gorgeous of this boat.
And I have to say, loving the aesthetics of some of the old time, the Lake Union Dream boats, and we're seeing a lot of those kinds of boats here, but a modern, constructed solar electric that looks like it might be from 1932. It's just so cool.
It is
it's
so cool.
beautiful.
It's a beautiful design, and that's Brandon Davis who put that all together based on the Lake Union Dream boats. And it's very cool. The other cool thing is that we can take the same hull and the same interior, and we have a design for a much more modern looking boat that'll be akin more of what you might see coming out of Europe.
Sure.
So with the same exact boat, same exact hull, same molds, if you don't dive with that
Yeah, you can
classic
do something
style,
a little
you
more
can have the
modern.
modern style,
Yeah.
and it's the same boat.
Yeah. But regardless of the appearance, it's a super modern, cutting edge
Yeah.
solar electric. Can you talk a little bit about the solar electric battery conversion to the prop?
Right. So those are the main components. You have all the solar panels, and you want to have enough, and you want them to be very efficient. The motor, we have a super efficient motor. Propellers actually are a big deal, and if you have a very efficient propeller, it can make the whole system work that much better.
Yeah.
So those are the somewhat obvious parts. What we found, we did a lot of computational fluid dynamic analysis and engineering for this boat.
Is that math?
Yeah, it's very high tech.
Sorry.
Math, fancy
that's-
engineers.
well,
So you
that's
can
cool.
take the hull, you run it through a computer,
Yeah.
and you know how efficient it's going to be. You know exactly how the wakes and how it goes through. So that helped us refine the hull shape and the propeller shape and the rudder shape, and all of those
Wow.
things. So one of the things that we found in our efforts to make it super ultra efficient is that weight is a big deal. So especially if we want to beat hull speed. So we have a semi-displacement hull that will, our top speed will be 12 knots.
Wow.
And in the future, the same hull will do 20 knots if you have a big enough motor.
Yeah.
So being lightweight is very important for that type of
Hence
performance.
your preferred construction methods
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah, it's all vacuum infused epoxy and makes a very strong, very light boat.
Yeah.
It's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. The other cool thing is that we're using basalt fibers for this boat because basalt is stronger and stiffer than fiberglass.
Sure.
It's kind of between fiberglass and carbon fiber in
Okay.
terms of performance and lightweight. Carbon fiber is very energy intensive to make. It has a high carbon footprint
Okay.
to make carbon fiber. Basalt has an extremely low carbon
Oh, neat. Okay.
footprint.
So it's more environmentally
Yeah.
sound.
We've been here. The reason why I was at the Harbor Master Conference where we met was because if we take this boat and we plug it into shore power, but instead of taking energy from the grid, we feed the grid,
Oh.
just like you would have solar powers on your home and you net
Yeah.
meter your house, we would net meter this boat. And we imagine we'll be the first boat that will do this. Hopefully not the last.
Yeah.
But if you do this, the whole boat will be carbon neutral in less than 20 years,
Amazing.
which no other boat can say that.
Right.
One, of course, the operation of the boat is carbon neutral because we're not burning any fuel. But that offsets the carbon footprint of construction, of producing
Yeah.
the whole boat.
Yeah.
So that is also very exciting for those people who care about carbon footprint.
Yeah. Yeah. Which more and more do, but more and more need to. I think we all, I mean, I don't know, 5 years from now, 10 years, who knows how long down the road where it will become even more critical that we understand how all this works.
Yeah.
And so speaking of that, you're at the forefront of this kind of this amalgamation of these different systems to create a carbon neutral cruising boat or a day, a picnic boat or what have you. What does Solar Sal, in your vision, look like 10 years from now? What are you going to be doing then?
Well, we're talking fantasy at this point.
Yeah,
because
sure.
we
Dreams.
obviously can't know. If you'd asked me this 5 years ago, I'd be like, yeah, we'll be making 5 or 10 boats a year now, maybe more. And we haven't done that yet.
Okay.
I think one of the things that's been challenging for us is figuring out our customer base.
Sure. Yeah.
Because people don't even know that solar boats exist, really. And so how can you know you want something if you don't know it exists?
Yeah. Well, more and more of you out there are knowing now.
Now you know.
Now you know.
And then being a small mom and pop company, right? It's literally me and my mom and my pop. We don't have millions of dollars of investors going in. So we're building
Yet.
boats one at a time.
Sorry.
So they're a little bit more expensive, so we're going for the custom boat
Yeah.
there. So we're hoping that the Townsend 34 is really going to catch on because it can do absolutely anything that a regular trawler can do. Now, I should say that. It will do the average use case of a trawler.
Sure,
The way
that-
most
understood.
people
Yeah.
do that, we'll be able to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. And where will this boat, when it splashes, is there a home, a hailing port already?
Yeah, up Bellingham.
Bellingham? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. So come visit me in Bellingham.
Yeah.
We'll take you out cruising on the coolest boat that we could imagine.
The Townsend 34.
Yeah.
And Solar Sal Boats. I think I asked you, Sal, is that your dad's name or no? What was...
Sal. So my folks are out in upstate New York where there's the Erie Canal. Interestingly enough, this year is the 200th anniversary of the Erie
Wow.
Canal.
Okay.
And I'm going to embarrass myself in a moment and sing a song.
All right.
It's a song about the Erie Canal. I've got a mule, and her name is Sal, 15 miles on the Erie Canal. And so we are the Solar Sal. We're the solar mule that
yeah.
would pull the barges.
Right.
200
yeah.
years ago, there weren't even internal combustion engines.
Right.
So the mule would walk
Yeah.
on the towpath next to the canal and pull the barges. One of the earliest proof of concepts was in 2015. My dad built a 40-foot boat and went from Albany out the Erie Canal to Buffalo and back and brought a load of cardboard to be recycled from Buffalo back to Albany.
Cool.
And this was the first cargo delivery on the Erie Canal that was all solar since there were mules.
Amazing. Really cool. So for those that want to, they're probably already Googling Solar Sal Boats.
Yes.
We'll put the web address here. It's solarsal.com.
Solar.
Solar. That's right. I've been to it and I couldn't
Solar,
remember. Solarsal.solar. You can check out plans,
Yep. Boats
all
for
sorts
sale.
of great info on your philosophy. So, yeah, I think this, I'm not going to like pretend like this podcast is going to open up a world, but I mean, we just need more people aware. And this is going to help, I think, to get the word out.
Yeah.
Like you just said, solar electric boats exist. People are going to go, what?
Right. Well, and the cool thing, so this is cruising on an electric boat is amazing because, like you said, it's quiet. There's almost no maintenance, and it's a wonderful experience. And I could get into the physics of it also, but there's just so many neat things about electric boats in general.
Yeah.
Most electric boats, along with most gasoline boats, the trend these days is to go really, really fast for a short period of time.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So a lot of the electric boats out there will do that. They'll go 20 knots for a few hours, and then you have to come back to the dock to charge. And so to be able to cruise on an electric boat that isn't solar is very difficult to do. The ones that are happening require charging infrastructure that can pump a whole lot of electricity into the batteries in a short period of time, much like the chargers for electric cars.
Yeah.
The Townsend 34, when you need to plug in, can charge our whole battery bank overnight on a standard 30 amp plug.
Wow.
So we've got solar. We'll be able to cruise indefinitely on solar at 5.5 knots indefinitely without plugging into anything. Right? If we want to go
That's
7 to 8
incredible.
knots,
Yeah.
which most people want to cruise at, you can do that for 5-6 days, and then you stop and plug in at any marina and any shore power plug overnight.
Just overnight.
Which you do anyway.
Yeah.
Most people will stop every few days at a cool place
Yeah.
to reprovision and all that.
Wow.
So it's truly, you can cruise anywhere on solar power and electric power the way we designed at speeds that people are used
are
to
perfectly
cruising.
acceptable. Yeah, exactly. We're used to it.
Yeah.
And you're living proof this can be done.
Yes.
All right, you guys, you got to check it out. solarsal.solar.
Yep, that's us.
And then you probably find an email link to Alex and just
Yeah, shoot
Bother
me an
him with-
email, send me a call,
pester
come
him with
by
questions.
Bellingham.
Yeah.
Any excuse to get out on the water, I'd be happy to talk to you more,
that's
show
cool.
you how it works.
Well, thank you for coming by and giving us some more information. I was already intrigued, and now I am more. And I am also going to be telling more people about this. So thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate
so
you
welcome.
stopping by.
It's always great to talk with you, Darren. Take care.
So that's been another episode of the Boat Geeks. Until next time, whatever floats your boat, it might be solar.
We're the Boat Geeks. Whatever floats your boat. We're the Boat Geeks. It's the boat that floats that we love the most. Yes, we love the boats. We're the Boat Geeks. Whatever floats your boat. Walk on the water, float on the sea, crossing the oceans between you and me. The wind in our hair, the salt on the breeze, bringing us closer, life on the